Ladies and gentlemen, the final bout of amateur rules to go on the undercard is about to get underway. 3 by 2 minute rounds in the super welterweight division. Introducing to you first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 68.95 kilograms, standing 1.75 meters tall, and wearing the blue trunks. With a record of no wins against single loss, he fights out of Iron Tiger in Cape Town, making his second appearance at Thaiholics Fight Promotions. Here is Dean Grobler. And his opponent taking this fight on just a few days' notice, standing 1.74 meters tall, weighing in at 68.9 kilograms, fighting out of the red corner and wearing the red trunks. With a record of a single win and a single loss, he fights out of Bushido MMA in Cape Town. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yasser Jappi.
Right, Dean Grobler in the blue trunks, going up against a short notice opponent, Yasser Jappi, 22 years old. Has a background in fighting though, trained at an MMA gym, competed in jiu-jitsu, and actually this year he made the Western Cape MMA team in the lightweight division, so does have some experience in the ring or in the cage.
Yeah, fighting out of Bushido MMA. Not a lot of fighters that they have supplied to Thaiholics Fight Promotions. I think they're kind of getting into it. You know, the more events that we have, the more Bushido family we're going to be able to welcome onto your screens. Dean Grobler, no stranger. He's been here before. He was at TFP 3 Continental Collision. He finds himself back in the ring. Short turnaround. Obviously, he didn't take too much damage in that fight. It was TFP 2 that he was in. Just being corrected by Paul Bergman. You know, you're allowed to say it. You don't have to just point at me and smile.
Yeah, I didn't want to break your flow, but obviously I did. Yeah, Dean had an amateur fight there as well at TFP 2. Lost that one, but hoping to make up ground here.
Yeah, this is the last fight on the undercard, amateur rules in application. 3 by 2 minute rounds. The weight division, super welter, slightly under the super middleweight division of the fight that we saw just now. And records, you know, 0-1 versus 1-1. Jappi with a 1-1 record, 0-1 for Dean Grobler. Both of these guys are going to be wanting to stick another W on the list. You know, a guy like Yasser Jappi is going to come here and he's going to want to stamp his authority and make it known that he's ready to take part in more TFP contests. What an opportunity he gets on a few days' notice.
For sure. I think also a lot of the time, people look at your amateur record and they look at the losses on there and think, hey, this guy's not maybe doing too well. But a lot of the time, these guys will maybe take on more experienced fighters. Those losses don't necessarily count in terms of, like how well you performed. They just show that you lost the fight. But I mean, there's a lot of experience that you gain from being in front of crowds, being in the ring, fighting opponents that are better than you only makes you better. So having that loss against your record, especially at an amateur level, shouldn't be something that deters these guys from carrying on with the sport.
Not at all.
In fact, it's something that'll maybe bolster their fights and get them even better, having those losses on their record.
Even the top guys in the world, you get in from Thailand, 200 odd, 300 odd, 400 odd fight, but a whole bunch of losses picked up along the way. But that's why they're the top guys.
Yeah, exactly.
You've learned way more losing that fight than you have bludgeoning somebody and winning easily.
For sure. It looks nice to have that shiny record, but the experience comes from both sides. You always hear that saying that you learn more from the losses than you do from the wins. And we'll see if these guys have learned from their previous losses.
Round number 1, here we go. Dean Grobler looking to open the action as the aggressor.
Nice quick counter there from Yasser. He needs to maybe keep his hands up and watch out for those forward pressure strikes coming from Dean.
Yasser Jappi looking very relaxed. He's not panicking. He's taking what he's getting given, but he's also got a very much of a poker player's face that he's wearing right now. Right place to be wearing it. We're at a casino.
Yeah, for sure. And I think he's been involved in the sport for a while. He's been in other competitions, maybe not in Muay Thai necessarily, but he's experienced in terms of like ring experience and fight experience.
Just in terms of looking at the style at face value, Dean Grobler, the much more busier in terms of, I'd say, almost unnecessary movement. He's a bouncy, frenetic kind of guy. Yasser Jappi, a lot more composed.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, Yasser just needs to be careful that he doesn't get too relaxed, too sloppy. A good catch there and a good sweep from him.
Well timed.
I think that also maybe put Dean into a bit of a shell shock position there. He's not coming forward as much as he was earlier. Maybe he's eaten a few big shots. You can see the welts on his ribs there. But he maybe needs to think about taking advantage of the fact that his opponent's dropping his hands, maybe getting a little bit lazy with his defense work. But again, he's staying out of range, so a lot of these shots that Dean's throwing aren't landing. We had a good combination there, big left hook, low kick. Eats a shot himself. That one put him on a little bit of wobbly legs.
Good return by Dean Grobler going over the top, a bit of a question mark kick. Welt marks appearing, Dean Grobler's ribs telling a bit of a story.
Yeah, good work from both guys. I think Yasser maybe being a little bit more composed, landed a few big shots there. I think that rattled Dean a little bit. But he's got a minute now just to recover, see what he can do when he gets back in for the second round. See Shaheen Price giving him some advice there in the corner, taking it all in. Yasser staying nice and composed. Coaches don't seem to have too much to say. Shane Deacon checking on his gloves there, checking the elbow pads, pulling them up over the arms, because sometimes that happens, his elbow pads are loose. So you have the situation where the referee needs to keep an eye on that, make sure that we don't have any elbows exposed. Sometimes the guys can take advantage of that and throw, but sharp eyes there from Shane, checking that the pads have slid down a bit and bringing it back up.
He's going to hate that I'm about to say this, but I don't care. Shane Gucci Mane freaking Deacon, the champion who is in the ring as the referee.
Shane Sweep and Deacon.
Sweep and Deacon. I'm trying to get some
those
real
elbows up the
momentum on his nickname. He doesn't like nicknames, so I'm trying to give him one.
And everyone seems to try, big catch and sweep there. Everyone seems to be giving Shane, and he just sort of denies, but maybe one day we'll just have him find one. Pulling up the shin pad there. A lot more forward momentum and intensity from Yasser this round. Maybe some advice he got from his corner there, because Dean was looking a little bit rattled on those big shots, to put that pressure on. But still bouncy on his feet, moving out of the way of the attacks.
He's got a beautiful piercing front kick, which he throws off both feet, Yasser Jappi.
Yeah, and he's countering, good catches. I mean, that rattles the fighter as well. When you're throwing something and you're hoping for it to land and it gets caught, it really throws you off your game. And he seems to be catching most of Dean's kicks and tips.
But you know, he's also getting back everything that he gets hit with. He's getting his pound of flesh. He makes sure that he's responding on every shot that is thrown by Dean Grobler.
Yeah, for sure. I see Dean shook his head there a little bit. I'm not sure if that was maybe a bit of a sight issue. Maybe he got a glove in the eye, but seems to be slightly better recovered now. But the welt's definitely growing up at the side of his body there. You can even see a little bit on his face. He's taken a few big punches. Seems to be wiping his eye, like maybe can't see so well out of that left eye. But he's wobbled him here, and he's got him rattled. He's got to put the pressure on. He's finding that hand. The referee jumps in to break it. Shane Deacon about to give the first standing 8 count of the night. Well done by Dean Grobler.
Very much against the run of play. I wasn't expecting that to happen. He caught him clean, and that's what happens. You know, you just can't take your eyes off your opponent, and you can't think, and his legs are not right. He's going to be in trouble.
He's nodded yes to the referee that he's okay to continue, but you can see his hands are down. We knew this from the first round as well. By getting that standing 8 count, Dean he seems to have taken a groin shot himself now in the last final 10 seconds of this fight.
Clock stopped on 3 seconds to go. Only really benefiting Yasser Jappi because he's on one on spaghetti legs, and now he gets to take a breather.
For sure, he's taking big breaths in the corner there. I think that was a little bit unexpected for him, that he found himself wobbling. But props to him for hanging in there and nodding, even though he was a little bit wobbly on his feet. He nodded to the referee to say, yes, I want to be in this fight, I want to continue. Good work from Dean there to handle that pressure, the opening segment of that round. As we see, Yasser actually stumbled into his container there.
Of course, with all the gyms here, big contingent supporting both of these fighters. Iron Tiger, they're building an army. They're all here. They're packed in one section behind us in commentary here, so you're going to hear a lot of screaming whenever there's their fighters coming out. As we go to the replays from a very, very productive round against the run of play, comeback, if you will, Dean Grobler taking it to Yasser Jappi.
So we saw in the first round, Jappi was really, really content, happy to stand back, sit in the pocket and look for the shots, but he came out firing in the second round. And yeah, against the run of play, I think Dean caught him with a big right hand.
And then he marked it home. He went in with another right hand that shook the head of Yasser Jappi. And then, of course, the nut shot at the end, which bought Jappi some time and pretty much saved him from what could have been a stoppage on the cards.
Still looks a little bit like wobbly in the legs. He's going to be, you can see he's on the back foot. His chin's high in the air, though. It's obviously why Dean caught him with that. He needs to be careful.
Grobler took a shot to the knee. He was fighting inspired until that very moment.
I think we set for a great third round here. Both guys coming out firing big shots, not backing down an inch.
This is an absolute war that it's turning into in round number 3.
And that's the thing, if you go train anywhere in Thailand, the first thing you learn is that you can't teach heart, and heart is one of the most important things in the Muay Thai fight. And both these guys have it in spades. Yasser putting the pressure on now, landing big combinations.
There's no flight, it's all fight here at TFP for full swing. Yasser Jappi with that laser right hand as he catches Dean Grobler in the corner.
Let's just be careful not to gas himself out here, throwing those punches. Look where his hands are now, and walking into a big shot. Needs to stay composed, make sure he puts the pressure on without getting wild.
A minute remains, just under. Both of these fighters really need to press it home now.
Yeah, so with that standing 8 count in the second, I assume the judges would have given that a 10-8 round. If Yasser goes on to win this third and final round, we're looking at maybe a draw and maybe an extra round, if given that he might have won that first round. Whoa, ducks his head and almost eats a knee there. Both guys still giving it their all. Big shots. Deep into the third. 20 seconds remaining.
The fatigue on that back leg is setting in. Dean Grobler is not very steady on it, but he's trying his hardest and throwing that right hand. Good elbows from Dean Grobler.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's got some gas left in the tank if this does go to a fourth round. Wow, with those welts on the body, guys bite each other, hug in the middle. Great fights. So we'll wait to see if there's a fourth round now. Guys going and greeting the corners. Just having a look at to what if any of the judges seem to be signaling that there might be. After this, we'll go into a break as well. 30-minute interval before we get ready for the main card of the evening, opening up with the title fight. Pro-Am SA belt on the line, the super lightweight belt between Zoe Klaassen from Camp Fight and Kristen Clark from Nakaim. Alright, guys are getting some water. Looks like we might be going to another round, but we'll see what the judges have to say now. If we do, this is where the coaches should be telling them to take some big, deep breaths. It's obviously a little bit more than a minute. Alright, while the judges deliberate, let's have a look at what happened in that third round. Big pressure from Yasser, landing big clean strikes, walking in with the knee, landing it to the body. Still staying composed. Good work from him there. I think by this stage, Dean had, nice elbow from him there, but I think he'd been sitting on that pressure as well, feeling that fatigue. Being given an indication that there shouldn't be an extra round, but we'll see what happens now. Fighters still prep for it just in case it happens. Alright. Referee Shane Deacon calls into the middle. Looks like we have a decision, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an all-out war, we go to the judges' scorecard, declaring your winner after 3 action-packed rounds by unanimous decision. He fights out of the blue corner, Grobler.
That big strike in the second round, obviously counting in Dean's favor, getting him the win there. Maybe the first round was a little bit tighter than I was scoring it. Might have been a draw in that first round. Goes over to the corner to greet the guys. Shows appreciation for them. Well done to both fighters, putting on the work there. Good work there from Iron Tiger, helping to set the tone for their fighters coming later. We still have Michael Poseidon in the super lightweight division. He'll also be fighting for a Pro-Am SA title against Sibonelo Ntombela out of Fight Domination in Durban. And then the main event this evening, Mayero Gomba fighting out of Iron Tiger. Pro fight, the WMO International Welterweight belt held currently by Pasquale Amoroso from Vivenzio Gym in Italy. As we take a look at the replays again. It'll be interesting to see those scorecards. I think the judges must have been counting strikes, looking at ring domination, and also, you know, if the shots are landing, there's that big wobble we saw. There's a big right hand, followed up, as they say, Yasser was doing the chicken dance there, but did well to stay on his feet. I think most fighters in that situation might have taken a knee, gone down. He stood there, said, no thanks, I'll keep trading. Referee Shane Deacon jumped in when he saw that the legs were a bit wobbly on him. Great work there from Dean, especially finding the target in a rush situation. I guess that's a lesson for Yasser to keep his hands up right from the start.